Hello and welcome to Dad Got This. It is fall, AKA spooky season. So I got Oogie Boogie here. I have my Oogie Boogie Spirit jersey on, and I'm ready to make a fall treat. Dad's favorite fall treat happens to be caramel apples or caramel apples. Let me know in the comments, do you say caramel or caramel? I flip between both. That aside, whichever way you want to say it, fine with Dad, but it's my favorite treat. 100% every time I go to the Disney parks, when I stop at the confectionery, I get myself a caramel apple. So now I want to make mine at home. And I found a recipe I wanted to try from Sally's Baking Addiction. She says it's very easy to use, very easy to do. So we're gonna give it a try. You don't need a lot. The one thing you 100% need to make sure you have, a candy thermometer. Candy making and whatnot, you have to be precise. Normally Dad will fuddle around, add a little of this, a little of that. Nope, you gotta follow the instructions to the T, temperatures, times, amounts. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna try to put a little Disney twist on it, because you guys know I love Disney. I have a whole other channel. I'll put the information in the description about it. Let's get to making some caramel apples. Put a pan over medium heat and add 1 3/4 cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of light corn syrup, and 2 cups of packed brown sugar. Stir that up, get it to all mix in together, and then add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Give it a nice mix and make sure you scrape down the sides of the pan. At this point, we're just supposed to let it bubble untouched, no stirring, until it reaches 235 or 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Depends on what temperature you want to go to. They say it's a little stickier at 240 and coats the apples better. So we'll see. We're supposed to do this all over medium heat. Says this should take about 15 minutes, but not to go on time. Go on temperature. It could take longer or faster depending on your stove and pot setup. I haven't used this candy thermometer in a while. I hope it works. It's been around 13 or 14 minutes. Dad's candy thermometer was no good. It is so old, I haven't used it in so long, doesn't work. So I had to resort to my instant read thermometer, which I'm hoping is going to be okay. A thermometer's a thermometer, right? Totally contradicting everything I told you about the very important thing about the candy thing. I know, what are you gonna do? We're at about 225 right now. I'm gonna try to go to that higher temp. I'm hoping for really good stickage. We just hit 239, and now we're supposed to let it rest and cool for 15 minutes. Since we're making caramel apples, we need apples. And I went with my favorite, the Granny Smith. I feel like for caramel apples, they just have that bite, they taste good. These are nice and big. And then I also had a couple little snacking apples. These are Gala apples. We use these for snacks around the house all the time. And I thought I'd make a couple with the little tiny apples. Give it a try. The first thing we need to do is prep them and get some sticks in them. I grabbed these off of Amazon for a couple bucks, $5 or $6. And it is way more than I will ever need in my life. Gotta get this stem out. And then our apple stick goes right in there. Boom. And repeat. And now we're almost ready to dip in caramel. I'm a Disney fan, I've let you know that. So I had an idea to make some little Mickey ears out of Reese's peanut butter cups for some of these. I don't know if it's gonna work. If not, Disney uses marshmallows when they make their Mickey caramel apples. So I have some of those and I'll give that a try too, but I really wanna try to do it with these peanut butter cups. I don't know if I'm gonna get to work though. Another thing in the recipe, it mentioned that parchment paper is not the best idea. They recommend a silicone baking mat because the caramel can stick to the parchment paper, or they say to grease a cookie sheet. You know what? I'm gonna go with the greased cookie sheet. I have a clean cookie sheet here. It has been 15 minutes. I'm going to attempt to dip an apple. It's not quite as thick as, I'd like. Maybe I'll end up having to do a double dip. I'm not getting a great coating on these apples. Oh. So this side twirl motion seems to be good. And then we'll go like this. Well, in true Dad Got This fashion, things did not go as planned. We do have a slightly caramel covered apple, but I am just not getting my caramel to stick to my apples. I did a little bit of internet research, found a couple of things. One, the wax on the apple might be causing problems. You can soak in white vinegar and water and then scrub to try and get rid of that. And they say cold apples is better because it helps the caramel solidify as it touches the apple. So I soaked some apples, I rinsed them with vinegar and water, I scrubbed them, and I threw them in the freezer a little bit to cool down, and let's see if that works. I also think now my caramel is too cold because it's very clumpy. These are my apples that I soaked in white vinegar and water, scrubbed, and I stuck in the freezer for a little while. Let's see if this makes any difference. We've made more progress than we ever have. I mean, that's pretty well sticking to the apple. Now the question is, if I set it down, how much is going to just run off the apple? Don't be afraid to fail. I fail. Look, I'm failing at making caramel apples. This one's not looking too bad. All right, this has been in the freezer for a little while, a little chilly. Got my caramel warmed up. We're gonna try one more, and we're gonna try my ear thing, and I think we're done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to like shave a little radius. So, test that on my apple. It kind of fits. And then the other idea was to take a toothpick and then do a toothpick in the ear, and then we can boom into the apple. I have no clue if this is gonna work. This doesn't work. It just instantly melts the chocolate ear. We're gonna eat it. I may have not made a great caramel apple, but I did find out that dipping a peanut butter cup in caramel is fantastic. Marshmallow. This is what Disney does. At this point, I'm going to give up and say, I made a fantastic caramel sauce. Use it on ice cream, use it on chopped up apples in like a little bowl. That'd be great. As far as for making caramel apples, it's not my forte, and I will continue to buy them. Just not worth the time and effort, honestly. These look like a horror show. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know how to make a caramel sauce, great, use this recipe. If you know why this failed so badly, let me know in the comments. All right, that's it. Dad may fail miserably at making caramel apples, but Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it. Bye.